Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Working on a new character. Got a couple little references up here, but I don't need those now. Kind of got that out of the way. But we are ready to go, ready to dive in. Starting to kind of get to the point where we're just kind of going over everything, making everything, look good. Alright, so yeah, let's dive in here. Whoop, wrong layer. I do gotta pull up the information I have for this character. Give me 1 sec. Pull up that email. Great. Gonna get some more references just for like clothing and stuff. Would be good to kind of just have that for like clothing texture and stuff, colors. Let's see. Goodness. So Pinterest, I have a pin board of like outfits and stuff, just to kind of get like ideas of like how colors lay on those textures and stuff. It's just like taking forever to load. Right, here we go. This is kind of what I was looking for. All right. Pinterest really sucks now. It's really bad. I hope you're all doing well out there on the interwebs. All right. I put up a little curtain over here, so it's super dark in the room, but at least I won't be blinded by like 10:30. So that's a plus. Zoom in a little bit on her face. Yeah, we got a lot of commissions to get done, for sure. There's a couple that I just gotta get sketched to get going. I have a poster that needs to get done, which is kind of a rush job, so that unfortunately may impact. If you were out there and you got a commission, it may delay things just a little bit. Just slightly. And I decided to close commissions for December because I just I've been really wanting to get back to working on personal projects, taking some time off. Feels like what I need, what I gotta do. But slots will be open for January if people like to reach out. Get some stuff made. Got a project you're working on, or just want some art for your walls, reach out. Ooh. I always find it interesting that D&D was once considered like, you know, devil worshipping or whatever back in the Satanic Panic and stuff, and now one of the most popular types of characters people can be is a literal devil. I always find that very funny. like it almost feels like it became popular because it felt kind of punk. I don't know. I think it's just, in my opinion, I think it's like Nightcrawler, you know, like, I don't know, kind of looks like Nightcrawler. People like Nightcrawler, you know. He's my favorite X-Men character. So in my head, that's the reason. That's the real reason. I've gotten so many tiefling characters. I still have one more after this that's a tiefling. Like, they ordered a duo, a pair, and one of them's a tiefling. I think the other one's an elf. No humans. I haven't done any like straight up humans, which I'm not surprised by. I think people don't usually pick human. People would rather be something they're like not, you know. I think the mouth angle needs to be just changed a little bit, like something a little more like this. Just change slightly. I hate smirks, man. I hate drawing smirks. Everyone wants them too. They all want their character like slightly smirking. And it's just like not... If I spent a lot of time on it, I'd probably get it, you know, exactly right, the subtlety of it. But what I've been trying to do more of is like adding in more colors in spots, like even ones that I may not think to incorporate, like greens and stuff, just to kind of like, I don't know, just kind of play with color a little more. Like I always feel like I had a decent grip on it all, but like I really like to kind of, I've been really liking messing around with colors and stuff lately, like in shadows, adding, you know, cools and like different kinds of cools and stuff like that in there, and just really seeing what we can get, which obviously is not like the most original thing, you know, but I find like if you have something that you're really excited about to like try and learn or do better, I feel like that helps with commissions and like or work in general, like kind of keep you motivated. So I always kind of set like some little goal. I don't like write it down or anything, but like I set some sort of goal to like learn how to do this or do this with this piece kind of thing, just to kind of keep things interesting. So over here I have like my references. So we have like, right now it's clothing. I just like to keep it off here in case like I have to put it on YouTube or whatever. I have it in a separate tab. But like I have clothing reference here because I wanted to see like how like, you know, black clothing would like hit the light, what kind of color that would get, and I color pick it or whatever. I also have a couple references. I think these are Baldur's Gate tieflings. So I was kind of like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to like figure out how they would handle. I kind of went with them a little more chromatic. Red, I kind of liked the vibrancy of it, but still kind of using that as reference for like how they handle light and stuff. I just love how the color variety like adds so much texture to it. Like there's like blues and browns and purples kind of thrown in here to kind of make that maroon color. And it just adds a lot of variety to it instead of it just being like, you know, flat maroon, you know. And it just kind of adds a little more depth to it. Even with like the skin, it's like if you keep adding, you know, in the shadows or whatever, they can be a little more cooler colors, but you want to kind of keep it in the realm. Some people go a little more extreme with it, which I love. I'm just not a brave enough soul to do that yet. Hey Armstrong, Armstrong Ellie, thank you for checking out the stream. And yeah, it's interesting. I think it really depends on, in terms of inspiration. Whoa, drop the stylus. In terms of inspiration, I really do. Actually, I take a lot of inspiration from like historical paintings, like oh gosh, I'm forgetting like literally all their names right now, but like basically like if you look up historical paintings, you'll kind of get, you know, the idea of what I'm talking about. But a lot of those like with the deep shadows and stuff have been kind of like more like what I've been inspired by a lot lately, especially with like landscapes that I try to do. I also like Norman Rockwell. It's probably one of my biggest like early on inspirations when I started illustrating. Kind of still is. I also love a lot of like magic artists' work. Is very good. Oh god, now I'm forgetting their names. Like Ryan Pancoast. And now I'm drawing a blank on all the other names. But like if I do poster art, I really draw inspiration from like Drew Struzan and stuff. I get really inspired by that work. I always loved like the little vignettes and stuff. It was always really cool. But yeah, that's kind of like pretty much where I kind of draw inspiration from. I'm really inspired by a lot of Magic the Gathering like art and artists. I wish I could think of their names right off the top of my head right now, but unfortunately I'm drawing a blank on all of them. I have to say them a lot to like memorize them well. And also, great pun. Grade A pun. Also just like D&D 5e in general, like I really loved their art. I know a lot of people like have their gripes about it, but that's what got me in, like, really determined to like be an illustrator. Like seeing the artwork in those books, I was like, man, I want to do this. Like this is cool. This is rad. And you can actually see like a lot of connections with like historical paintings in those too. Like they draw inspiration from old masters and stuff like that too. So I don't think that those circles are too spread apart. You know, there's a lot of overlap. Nicholas Cole is another amazing illustrator, who I get constant inspiration from. He's very good. Yes, I did. Yeah. Now I'm just red instead of blinding white, because I put just a red curtain thing that I found, just some extra fabric. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Also, I'm glad you and your partner liked the commission. I think it turned out pretty good. Pretty stoked on it. Hopefully, it looks even better in print when you get it. Rebecca. I solved the curtain situation, the window situation this morning. I was standing on my desk. I spilt my coffee everywhere trying to stand on my desk. And I hung this thing up like 5 minutes before we started streaming. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you like it. Honestly, like, my wish is to someday just like do private commissions like that, and make my own games. It's like that would be like the dream. Like, I get frustrated when I have to put off, the games I'm working on. I actually have to push them off, because it's just like, stuff you need to do first, priorities. Yeah, I would love to just like do the occasional private commission and make games. Another thing I don't love painting is braids. I don't know why. Don't like painting them very much. Yeah, no, Armstrong really. I agree. Like, it stinks when like you hope that the thing you're working on gives you like just the right amount of like, I don't want to say success. I'm starting to hate that word a lot, but like enough like success that like you could do that thing, but you need to like somehow make the time to prioritize that risk. But like you also got to be like, I got the things that I need to address now that like I gotta take care of. So it's I'm kind of hoping that this month and next month I'm blessed with enough work that I feel like I can take some time off in December. I talked about it last stream, to just like hang out with the family and get some of those personal projects done. because like with Rune Rally, this board game I'm working on, if you want to check it out, you can go check it out on the Patreon, by the way. Just search Rune Rally, RUNE space RALLY, and it should pull up all the posts about it. I still got to make a collection about it, but I'm hoping to I'm in like the nitty gritty of that, like designing like the rule book and stuff. It's like that stuff. So it's the game is done, but I feel like I have a definite like stopping point before I'm like, all right, let's bring this to Kickstarter kind of thing. And I think what bums me out is like I was really cruising with that game for a while. Like I got so much done, like very fast, and then it just like screeched to a halt because like so much work came in. And again, it's like it's so hard because like you're grateful for the work, especially when, you know, a lot of people are looking for work and stuff. But then like you get a little bitter, you know. And it's hard, it's hard to even talk about because like you don't want to sound like an ungrateful jerk. But it's like, man, it's like if I just, well, especially now with my schedule, like I got 2 kids, you know, my wife works part-time right now to take care of the kids in the morning. I work in the morning till like 11:30, and then, you know, I work at night for like an hour, you know, so it's like I'm not working a ton in a day. So it's like every like moment, it's like you gotta like really know what you're doing. So, and you know, eventually that'll free up more like once both the kids are like in school full time and stuff and all that. But it's a long wait. And I also don't want to wait for that because, you know, like you never know what could happen, you know. Don't want to wait around waiting for the right time, you know. So yeah, it's just time management for me. It's like trying to find the time and make it a priority without feeling like the guilt of doing a project that isn't, you know, making money right away or at all. Oh my gosh, in an ideal world, like Rune Rally would like blow up, you know, and like everyone would love it, and it would like, you know. But that doesn't really happen in board games too often, so I'm keeping my expectations relatively low. But it'd be great if it was like even a little bit of a big success. That'd be rad. Just to know like a lot of people like it, you know. Yeah, I'd love for you guys to check it out. If you just go to the Patreon in the, you know, the link in the bottom or whatever, just check it out. You can join for free, and just check it out. You know, I'm trying to use that as my primary social media because it's like you can use it as like a blog or a newsletter. I really dig that. And you know, you're not really chasing too many algorithms or anything like that. It's just kind of, you know, if people like your stuff, it's a good way for them to check out stuff more often and at their own pace, you know. Paid tiers obviously get like, you know, cool stuff and all that, but it's not a requirement at all. I'm really grateful though for the support. If you join for free, you're supporting my mental health. If you join it financially, you're supporting me financially and my mental health. And the more people that'll join, the more things I'm hoping to do, like more digital downloads, more exclusives and stuff, and I have a Discord set up that I think once we get to like 50 followers, I want to open that up for followers and stuff. So we're small, but we're growing, and we're almost at 50. We're at like 37 right now, you know. Rad. Thank you so much, Armstrong. Yeah, no, I took that risk in 2018. I had a graphic design gig, but I think I did it a little more calculated, which I'm proud of. Like I did like talk to them, the company I was working for, and being like, hey, like I can't work here anymore, but if you still need a designer, like I'd be happy to work for you out like as a contractor. So I set that up with them, which is good. Which I think was a good move, and I'm really grateful that they even heard that out. You know, they could have just, you know, kicked me out the door and called me an ass or something, but no, they're super cool about it. But yeah, I left in 2018, which once in a while I still wonder, was that the right decision? But I think it was. I do. It was just, you know, like what you just said, like the security. It's like you have a good retirement setup, you have a good benefits and whatever and all that stuff, consistent pay. But yeah, no, it in the long term, it wasn't worth it. I for me at least, you know, didn't feel good to my mental health. I felt like I wanted to be more present as a dad, and you know, I wanted to be around more, and my schedule was like, it wasn't, you know, the most demanding schedule, but still, it's like I was still balancing being a freelancer on top of it. So it's like I'd come home, I'd hang out with the kids until like after dinner, then I'd just go to work again. So it kind of sucked, you know. It's like, and I'd work on the weekends, so it's just, yeah, I wanted to be around more, and so we just kind of like took that leap, and you know, it's not perfect, but I'm really glad I did. Like sometimes you could have a good job, you could have a great job, you could have a great career, great schedule, whatever. It checks off all the security boxes, and it still just, you know, doesn't feel right, so you just gotta go. And yeah, that's kind of how it felt, you know. Like I enjoyed what I did, but I just felt like I didn't enjoy it as much, and I just had to like make a choice, because we were at the point where we were like, you have to choose like between like doing what I'm doing now or doing what I was doing then. I couldn't really manage both, so I was like, I'd rather be doing this, to be honest with you. And yeah, I love what I do, and I'm really grateful that people give me the chance to do it for them, you know, make this artwork for them. Because it does feel silly sometimes, you know, like someone hiring me to like paint their character or like work on a board game or something. Like it just, sometimes it feels like, I say silly, but I guess I mean more like surreal. It just seems like really interesting, and I feel really grateful for that people like that stuff and do that stuff. And you said you're working on a comic, Armstrong. Do you have like a Patreon or anything, or a website I could check out or follow? I'd love to check it out. And I don't think I have anything set up to like prevent you from posting links. I might. I apologize ahead of time. I don't know how to do Twitch, so it might have been set up for me. But feel free to post a link if you wish. I'm all for sharing stuff, you know. She's looking good. I'm really happy with her already. It's so hard because like I know the head twist is correct, but it feels incorrect. You know what I mean? Like she's so twisted, but like I mean you can do it. If I made it go a little further, it would look weird. But I like the pose overall. Her dress is going to be the most complicated thing, I think. Sick. I'll have to check this out. Maybe I'll give you a follow on the YouTubes. Very cool. Very cool stuff. There, I gave you a sub on YouTube. I clicked over there. Looks cool so far, you know, all that art looks rad. It's looking great. Keep it up for sure. I could never do a comic. Like I see a lot of people do comics and that shit's impressive for sure. Like I can't I much respect to people that make comics for sure. I couldn't do that. I think this is not supposed to be anything. talked about this before on stream. It's like, but I don't know why, but I never use like any of the shortcuts that I've learned. Like people do like, you know, like a base coat. I mean, I do a base coat, but like they do like a solid base coat, select those solids and like render inside them. Like those like efficiency shortcuts. I feel like I don't use any of those. And I mean, not like to like brag or anything. I just like I don't know. I feel like I just have such a slow approach to things. And I still manage to kind of get stuff done relatively quick. I just find it interesting like how many different approaches people can take to do the same thing. And like people work in grayscale a lot first. I can't do that. Like I've done it a couple times. Like there's a couple videos on my channel where I start with grayscale. But like I learned from like watching like traditional painters, like once again like Ryan Pancoast, like he has videos and he actually starts with like just a warm hue and a cool. And like I've started doing that and I actually really enjoy that a lot more. Like placing your warms and cools and then your highlights and then going in and adding like the different colors and stuff on top of those. Granted, he's doing it like literally on like with traditional paints, but the principles kind of apply very similar with digital, which I found really, really nice to do. Going in with warms and cools. Like a good example is if you check out the video on my YouTube channel for the Avian Rider Night, that's a good example of starting off with a warm and cool base coat. I really like the end result on that one. That's probably one of my favorite paintings I've done. Honestly, like I wish I got hired more for doing like big scenes. I love doing characters for people, but I really like to, you know, spread my wings a little bit more. And do slightly bigger pieces, but I also know those are more expensive. People like to get the most bang for their buck, you know. I get that. Also, for anyone wondering like what brush I'm using, I have all these brushes. I don't usually use them. Here, I can show my brushes a little better over here. Can I move this? Oh, it's not detached anymore. Come on, dog. Are you attach it anymore? All right, whatever. So I have this one brush, as you can see here. It just looks like this. It's like a textured brush. And it just kind of does this, you know. But so like when I use it, it has really good response. And you can kind of cake it on, go a little thicker. You can like go to the edges, blend in between, get different colors and stuff. Love that brush. I don't usually use any other brush unless I have to do something specific. Like I did magic in a painting and it was just easier to use a soft round brush with a slight noise texture on it, and it kind of got what I needed. You could achieve it with this brush, but it would just take longer and it's pointless. So you just kind of do something quick. But yeah, that's kind of, I usually use that brush for pretty much everything. I even use it for sketching because it works really well at smaller, smaller brush sizes. It works really well as a sketch brush, so it's pretty diverse, which I like. Not switching brushes a lot, saves you a little bit of time on stuff. I'm gonna probably wrap up in like 10 minutes. That's like another example of like my schedule. It's like Twitch is like, if you do a stream that's 2 hours, you'll get more viewers because they'll trickle in or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I can't do 2 hours. Yeah, Armstrong. Yeah, I think most of my work has been word of mouth. I mean, or people like going on social media and like checking out my website and like what they see or whatever. But yeah, I think most of it's, from people sharing it on social media and stuff. As much as I hate it, Twitter has been like where most of my work has come from. Like this kind of work, like private commissions. People see, like I have like occasionally I'll have like a DnD character post go like mildly viral and like enough people see it and they email. And that's usually kind of how I get this kind of work. But yeah, also just submitting your portfolio to places like nonstop. Don't bother doing it to Magic the Gathering or D&D though, because that art drop email that they used to use, apparently they don't use it anymore, so it's kind of a waste of time. I mean, maybe they still use it. As far as I can tell, I don't think they do. But yeah, and also just networking at like conventions and stuff. But that's more long-term, building relationships with companies and stuff. But yeah, for like this stuff, yeah, just like social media. I find like if you don't do them too often and you do them with like sincerity, things like art shares really help, because like it at least connects you with other artists who share your work, and then people that they follow like see stuff. Like I feel like that's kind of how social media has like always been intended to work, which it's since metastasized into this algorithm ad revenue gross crap. But I always felt like it was supposed to be like a person shares a thing and then their people see it and then those people share the thing, and like, you know what I mean, like kind of like a tree. So I think art shares kind of force that occasionally, which I like. They don't always do what they're supposed to, but if you approach it with like this genuine like love for just seeing other people's art and sharing it and like commenting on it, engaging with it, and encouraging people to also engage with it. I think that also helped get, you know, more eyes on stuff. And just like following other artists, and like they see your work and then they share it and stuff. And yeah, I think more artists should just be sharing art all the time of smaller accounts if they're bigger. And I think we're kind of getting past that insecure phase where people like worry that other artists are gonna steal their job, kind of thing. Like, there was like, at least when I was starting out in like graphic design and art, like there were so many people who just like would like try not to share connections or places to get work just for the sheer fact that like they wanted all the work themselves and they were worried they wouldn't get it. It was just like, which is weird, but like also like you can see like it stems from like a deep-seated insecurity of yourself, right? Like it's just like you have insecurity, like not you specifically, but like let's say that this person in this scenario has insecurities about their own work, so they, you know, take whatever luck they got and like, you know, hoard it and hold on to it, when in reality it's like they're actually really skilled and that's why they got hired for a thing. But we're all insecure people, we're all, you know, so like I get it, but I'm kind of glad that like you see a little less of that now. People are much more inclined to share resources and help out, which I love. I love that. I wish I had more connections to share. Unfortunately, I do not. But yeah, no. Like I used to do like shirts for like those shirt-a-day sites like T-Fury and stuff. I used to like be in those communities a lot. And man, that shit got so cliquey. It was so bad. I'm kind of glad like that stuff is like more on the way out than on the way in, you know? Like now it's kind of changed a lot. Alright, we'll just have to stop there. We will be back next week. Probably Tuesday again. But yeah, keep an eye on the schedule. I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to take care of, so we'll see what the stream schedule is like next week. Yeah, we'll probably be back doing some more character commission stuff. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming by. Oh, the camera crashed. There we go. Thank you all so much for coming by the stream. I really appreciate it. Patreon.com/Creative Outpouring if you want to check it out. You can for free or pay tiers, whatever you'd like. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming out, and be kind to each other, and we'll see you next time. Bye.